Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the MTG Arena Run. Today we're going to be doing constructed, but instead of going over the two color decks that were basically looking back at how I would have upgraded the decks before, putting them into a traditional constructed queue. I'm gonna go over with one deck that I kind of have a pet interest in. This is what I usually use for traditional ranked on my off time. It's one of two decks I have. This is some Sultai Muldrotha surrounded by this big dude. So let's explain how this deck works. Actually, there's a story to tell behind this deck. Started when I got a copy of Muldrotha. Figured, okay, interesting effect. Then then later when Guilds of Ravnica came out, this guy came out. Then, then I got copies of this and I started thinking, maybe I could make one of those traditional decks where you play stuff, the stuff usually dies, but you take advantage of it by being able to buy them back. So that's the deck. I originally had copies of Stitcher Suppliers. It was one drop that here you go. It's a one drop that when it enters the battlefield, top 3 cards of your library hits the bin. When it dies, same thing again. It's a good way to churn through cards, but I don't have many ways of buying back my reanimator spell. So, and this one's a very poor pull in the late game. So I decided let's just focus on our 2 drops. So Merfolk Branchwalker, the Explorer is a good way to put stuff in the bin. Also a good way to draw into land. So that's perfectly in. It's also a 3/2 if it explores well. Glowspore Shaman, very good in putting things in the bin and getting lands if you need it. So that's why these two are my main cards. I suppose I should also put copies of Seeker Squire if I feel like I need to shore up the 2 mana slot. I guess I could put 2 copies of these, cut 1 land because I'm running 25 lands right now, and cut 1 land and maybe cut a 3 drop. So let's anyway check our 3 drops. Plaguecrafter is my main kill creature. Early game, he kills himself and something else. You generally want to have a Plaguecrafter in the yard because that's one of the emergency cards you want to buy back. Jade Light Ranger, I have 1 copy, so I put her in. Trashing Brontodon's my answer to all those enchantment decks. Wilderness Reclamation. It's a nice thing to buy. It's a nice one to buy back. It's also a good answer to opposing Eldest Reborns. Skittering Surveyor is a good way to get lands out of the deck. Isseret's my early reanimator method. It's a very you want to reanimate these guys early, and having Isseret as an option is nice. Hostage Taker. I used to have copies of Ravenous Chupacabra, but I guess if you have that, it might actually be better than Hostage Taker. So I guess it's a thing whether you want. It's a question of preference. But I did keep our copies of Golgari Finebroker. Again, another way to buy back a lot of your early stuff. If you accidentally bin one of one of these cards, good way to buy back. Prime Speaker Vanifar. This one's more of an experiment. I want to see if I could pod my way up from here to actually podding your way up from Branchwalker to Plaguecrafter or Brontodon and Emergency. Very good. Kind of conflicts with wanting to have everything in your graveyard, but I guess that's why I don't have singleton copies of some cards. I keep them in pairs. Vraska's Contempt, very important against Planeswalkers. We all know which Planeswalker we're talking about. Vraska Golgari Queen, we have a Planeswalker of our own. I used to have her early on because I used to have a lot of other enchantments. I used to have copies of I used to have copies of Urban Utopia because it would draw me a card. It would fix my mana. It's also a very easy thing to sacrifice to Vraska. Gift of Paradise would be a good alternative to that. Acceleration gives you life. Very important as well. But then I figured maybe not so much. Actually, I think Vraska can easily be replaced by Vivian Reed. Very good powerhouse. I think everyone's been poo-pooing her back when it first came out. Same thing happened with Teferi, and look where we are now. So Salvager of Secrets, really just for Vraska's Contempt. I guess we can also use it to buy back Unmoored Ego and Ritual of Soot, some of our sideboard cards. Crawl Foragers, concession to very aggro decks. Kind of a bit late for mono red, but I still keep copies of it. I guess there are better alternatives. I used to have a copy of Tender Shoot Dryad, but that one always kept dying very quickly. At least this one was a bit harder to kill. Eldest Reborn, very good. Also, another way to buy back our Vanifar or our Muldrotha. Connive and Concoct, again, a way to buy back Muldrotha. Also, a decent way to steal some of our opponent's stuff. Kind of have very interesting uses with this, especially with a lot of the new cards. If it comes up, I'll mention it. Izoni is our other 6-drop. Nothing like gumming up the board and trying to buy things back. It's no Wild Growth Walker, but does the job, I suppose. So generally, the idea is when we get Muldrotha, we want to be able to buy back some of our stuff. Take advantage of the fact that we've been trading efficiently. What I would really like to do is hit Muldrotha, then buy back Eldest Reborn. Basically, it's a Muldrotha lock. So even if they answer but not exile this guy, they'll see it again in a few turns. It's not perfect. People have been running enchantment removal, thanks a lot Wilderness Reclamation, and they've also been running Vraska's Contempt, thanks a lot Teferi. But that's how it goes. Sometimes we hit the deck that doesn't have either, and we get the lock. So our sideboard, we have Kitesail Freebooter, early concession to control, get rid of the non-creature spells if we can. Crawl Harpooner, I should be siding him more, especially now that I'm seeing a lot of Hydroid Crasis. Unmoored Ego, I guess, no, this card had its uses. Generally, yeah, really belongs in the sideboard. Ritual of Soot and Pyrexian Scriptures, this one's a concession to aggro mid-range. Nightveil Predator, again, another concession to Hydroid Crasis. It won't stop a Lyra, but it will stop any other flyer. It's also a very good way to block Gatebreaker Ram and whatnot. Carnage Tyrant, I'm yet to use this guy properly. I feel like he's more suited to a build that has some level of ramp. But sometimes you run into a deck where, like, sometimes you run into Teferi but once this threat comes down, he has to have a sweeper, or else what am I saying? Of course the deck has a sweeper. Anyway, 25 lands. I feel like maybe if I added more Explorer cards, I could cut this down to 24. But we'll see. We'll give this one a shot. Okay, and speaking of giving things a shot, so let's pay our way to Traditional Constructed. Submit the deck. And speaking of giving things a shot, here we have a splash screen. Thank you very much, MTG Goldfish, for giving us a splash screen. That does not track information. I did not like this at first because I was already submitting decks on another site, and that one had more functionality than MTG Goldfish. But at least they give you a deck list. It's very clean. Gives you the main deck, sideboard information. Okay, rarity count is maybe, let's be honest, it's kind of needed. More importantly, I don't like the idea of having real-time information tracked and whatnot. I suppose some people find it very important, but I think one's kind of distracting. Two, it's not like you're going to be able to do the mental math on paper when you're playing in real life on paper. And generally, you can kind of count cards and determine, okay, this is my percentage to draw a land. If I'm praying for a certain source, this deck will have plenty of it actually. That might be a problem. Actually, not so much. I guess it's a problem for me now because I built this deck for quite a long time. This deck started out way back in Guilds of Ravnica. The only cards I added from Ravnica Allegiance is basically just the Vanifar and the one breeding pool. I couldn't find any decent cards. Oh yeah, I forgot to check Titanic Brawl. No, never mind. Okay, so we got at least a turn 2 Branch Walker. Hopefully we can draw a land with that. So, or at least it gives us a look. That's important. So we'll keep this one. So turn 2 into a turn 3. So we definitely can hit turn 4. Fingers crossed. Okay, Glowspore Shaman's probably the better play for that purpose. Now, if our opponent's playing Memorial to Genius, this is either mono blue or control. Thought Erasure. So now this is an interesting one. I'm probably gonna lose Vraska's Contempt if our opponent's Planeswalker heavy. This might also be the Hero of Precinct 1 build. Depends if I see white anytime soon. Actually, the build our opponent has we can determine the build our opponent has based on which card he takes out. Usually you take out the card you're most concerned with. Okay, took out the Branch Walker, so he probably has answers to 1 toughness. Didn't matter too much. I was able to. Didn't matter too much. I might put a blue source. Okay, there's the blue source. Yeah, I'm gonna put the blue source on top. We probably need the Skittering Surveyor for another green source or another black. We already have double black. Let's see what our opponent's got. No Thief of Sanity. That's the good news. So we also got the blue source. I'm gonna swing first. Let's see if he's got the removal. Nope. So it's Skittering Surveyor. Next turn, I'll probably play Vraska. Oh, no counter spell. I guess I'll take a Swamp. I have way more double black than double green. Actually, no, that was a mistake. I already had the Swamp here. I should have taken the green source. It's been sandbagging quite a bit. I'm gonna swing first. He's not representing any white at all, so that's interesting. I could play the other Glowspore Shaman. I might just play Vraska instead. Let's see. Yeah, let's play the Vraska. Let's make him counter it. I'm very sure he has a counter spell. If he lets it stick, I'm gonna sack the Skittering Surveyor. Nope, there's a Syncopate, and he made sure. Well, he made a statement. That's one Planeswalker I'm not buying back soon. Now, let's see. Does he have a white source? Is this Esper or is this really true Dimir? So that said, we know our opponent has counter spells. We're actually waiting for our opponent to have some sort of, well, he could play Ritual of Soot now. Like, what would I buy for that? No, Eldest Reborn. Okay, Skittering Surveyor. So, there's the Overgrown Tomb. Let's just play that, sure. I'm assuming that... Yeah, let's play the Glowspore Shaman now. Let's get the information. I don't see anything we need to answer just yet. Here's goes one Connive. Okay, so... At least we have the option now to buy back our Trashing Brontodon. If not, we just keep beating. Our opponent could buy back our Jade Light Ranger. It's a good thing it's all our cheap stuff that's down there right now. I'm not forced to remove anything just yet. Well, we got our own Trashing Brontodon now, so let's swing first. I don't think our opponent has the mana to do both. He's gotta answer one card. There's the Dream Eater. He's gonna bounce one card back. So we can have Vraska's Contempt this in response. One, so that we can... So he will surveil 4, he will bounce 1 back. He will get something back. It's not none of these guys are critical. I suppose he could get the Trashing Brontodon back. That will stop our offense. Discarded Sinister Sabotage. I think he's gonna try to go offense. If we draw another land, well, first thing I'll do is play the Glow Spore Shadow, since that's what he's expecting. Put target creature. It's not, definitely not his. It's gonna be one of mine. He's gonna get the Brontodon for sure. Can't connive that one. I suppose that's a good reason to have Rex Sage instead of Trashing Brontodon. Oh no, he got the Jade Light Ranger. So he's waiting for something. Okay, he's got Discovery Dispersal. He could disperse this, force me to discard something. Well, it's next. That's gonna be next turn though. Unless he has it now. Disinformation Campaign. Okay. Let's discard the known card. Playing the land. So I think I can swing next turn. There's the Sinister Sabotage, but at least his hand is empty now. I suppose I could have played the Brontodon instead. Oh, he surveilled anyway, so it didn't... Yeah, it didn't matter. He surveilled anyway, so he would have gotten it back. So I'm definitely gonna discard the Brontodon if he plays this Information Campaign. He can surveil it back. If this is a land, I lose both my cards in my hand. That might be a problem. Can't do anything about it. Ball's in his court now. What am I gonna buy back? Probably just the Brontodon. Yep, nope, he got it back. So is he gonna hold mana? Nope, he's gonna surveil. He's gonna empty my hand. So I still have another Eldest Reborn. Muldrotha doesn't do anything now because I'm 1 mana shy. But okay, but we're both living off the top of our... Well, he has more cards, so that's probably an issue. Okay, so... Yep, this Information Campaign is real. Okay, we drew our land, so at least we have... So at least we have the mana to cast Muldrotha, but probably lose it next in the turn after. Actually, Salvage Your Secrets. It's not going to help us against a Disinformation Campaign. We need to Iseret or something. Let's see. Our opponent disc 2 Sinister Sabotages and Syncopate. He's not running Absorb or anything. Instruments Acquisition. He's getting... Okay, he's getting... What's that? Ah, the... 5 mana 5 mana demon. Oh no! Gone Unmoored Ego. What's he gonna name? I wish I can see what he's naming. I don't have Find Finality here. I can't afford it. But you do have complete information on my deck now. What is he gonna name, now that I think of it? Nothing got exiled yet, so it's not with. I don't know what he named. Huh? Okay, that's something. So I have no idea what he named, honestly. So that's something I'd want to know. That's a bit of an oversight. I wish I could ask Caradog what he named. Yeah, well, you saw his name earlier. So Cloud Erasure. Yep. Kiss the. Is that my? That's my second contempt. So I still have one more. So he gets to buy a lot of cards. Yeah, I might as well cast. He could cast it now. He'll still have mana left over to. Okay, let's see if he has to counterspell. Well, we live counterspell or okay, tap mana correctly, so he could still well, he can counter it anyway. He had a ton of blue mana. I guess he might be looking for Discovery Dispersal will force me to discard it. I get the benefit, I suppose, so that's not a huge loss. He probably drew a kill spell here, but actually I think the correct play is to just go. Wait, can Dispersal? Oh, he Dispersal. This is an instant. He could have waited, but that's kind of unnecessary. I guess he didn't want me to draw a card, and yeah, he didn't want me to draw into that. Let's play the land anyway, because we need to have mana to both cast Muldrotha and cast something. I'm sure you could probably counter it afterwards. Hold on. So another Vraska's Contempt, so that I need to present him with something that something else other than Muldrotha, though. That's gonna be a problem. Interestingly, our opponent has not done anything to our life total yet. I guess he was hoping to Dream Eater his way to victory. Crack for cards. Let's see what he gets. I'm gonna play this out. I want to see if he's definitely gonna be able to answer a deck. So Kitesail Freebooter comes in. He's kept on more Ego main board. I'll definitely put it inside. But what would I hit? I don't see anything. Well, maybe the Contempt or the Disinformation campaign are worth hitting. Oh, okay. So there's the Disinformation campaign. Opponent's drawing into cards. I still have no. Well, I saw his win condition. One of them. Moment of Craving came down. Okay, let's. Okay lang. So we get to explore. It's Muldrotha. I'm gonna keep it on top of the library. Unfortunately, it means I have to cast it next turn into Vraska's Contempt, but I have no choice on that matter. Sorry, bean sprouts for dinner. So our opponent has a huge swath of removal. But I still don't know if he has. If you have Mastermind's Acquisition, you definitely have another win con somehow. You know what? I guess casting Muldrotha now is not such a bad idea, but if he counters it and he plays Eldest Reborn, he can buy back one of my things, so that might be a problem. I don't want to give him that. Let's see, if I played that, what I can get back a 2-drop, that's it. Branch Walker again? Wait, I can also play a land too. Yeah, hold on. Because he can't respond. Well, he can counter it, so there's that. Sabotage. So we're fighting against a true control deck. It's gonna take a while, guys. I'm really sorry about that. Well, if I didn't cast him, I was gonna lose him anyway, so... Interestingly, he can get Muldrotha, but he can't cast anything with it. Still waiting for him to cast a win condition. Search for his control number 3. This is how control is. Generally, I could also be playing the same game. I just haven't opted to yet. Okay, find broker. This might be a problem because he gets to. If he does that, he can find broker something. Okay, let's say he. Oh, he lets me get back. Wait, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana, so no point getting Muldrotha or something else. Let's get Trashing Brontodon. Targeting the disinformation. Actually, no. I'm actually surprised he let this resolve. Wait, that's 1, 2, 3 Sinister Sabotage, single Syncopate. He might be down to just removal, so I'm gonna cast Brontodon anyway. Could be a Syncopate, that might be the problem. Nope, Dispersal. Okay, then I discard that. That's okay. Then... yeah, I have to sack this now, unfortunately. Should be going for the win at this point. What I'd really like to know is what did their opponent name? Another Elder Ego. So if we get play Unboard Ego, I guess that's what we're naming. It seems like this is our opponent's actual win condition. So we definitely need a single Dream Eater. Opponent's gonna do something on upkeep, I guess. Okay, Woodland Cemetery. Trying to see if we can bite some time. Basically, this is about okay, so it's really just Discovery Dispersal. Okay. Actually, on single, yeah, in an empty hand, this is very good removal. So I guess the Carnage Tyrants come in. Yeah, Carnage Tyrant definitely comes in. It's got a lot of spot removal. Doesn't have any sacrifice. Well, this is a sacrifice effect, so doesn't have any sweeper type effects. I think our opponent's deck is really limited to just this. It's really just Eldest Reborn and that. Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen enough at this point. I definitely want to get a copy of Hydroid Crisis for this deck. One day. So the Freebooters come in, Carnage Tyrants come in, Unmoored Ego comes in, Night Veil Predator comes in. So we need the Hostage Taker. We can keep the Plague Crafters despite the fact our opponent, because this also hits our opponent's cards. But I'll take out the Ranger. Take out the I'll take out the Crow Forager. Take out Izoni. Actually, no, Izoni's okay. Take out. Nah. Let's take out the Vraska's Contempt. We only hit the that one Dream Eater. That was it. I suppose I'll take out this Salvager. Take out. Yeah, I'm gonna take out Vanifar if I'm gonna break the chain. Yeah, let's take out both Foragers. Let's keep this. Plague Crafter. I don't think I'm gonna hit anything with this one. Let's take one Plague Crafter. I think we can rely on these guys, maybe. So let's keep this one around at least. Actually, I might want to just then let's cut the Skittering Surveyor. But we have to know that our opponent has full knowledge of our deck, so we'll definitely target the Eldest Reborns. Definitely keeping this hand. Hinterland Harbor can wait. I suppose if we draw an over... Oh no, we're playing first. Mull, so that's good omen for us. Yeah, I'll definitely take the Harbor first. It's not like we have a turn 1 play anytime soon. But we do have the potential for a turn 3 play. Not the one we needed, but let's see what we can do from there. So, Eldest Scott Sinister's. It's gonna take him a while, so we're gonna nuke the Disinformation campaign. He does have a drawn Catacomb, but he's not gonna hit that yet. That means we have one turn to cast a spell, hit something off his hand. That depends, because this could also not be a land. Let's play this. Play Merfolk Branch. Got Reading Book, okay. So let's see if he drew a land. If not, he's playing Search. He drew a land, but he's not leaving up counter mana. He's probably gonna play Search now. If you play Search for Escanta, trashing Brontodon takes it out. Basically, any way to keep him off lands, I'll do it. It's a bit pricey. Yeah, I guess an argument can be made for that. So our opponent needs to have a kill spell. Well, he now has the mana for a kill spell at least. So at this point, I'm just basically racing to hit Carnage Tyrant mana. Let's play 2 life. Let's swing first. See, if he tries to kill one of these cards, he won't have mana to counter. This is the bait. Yeah, this is basically bait. My target right now is... Okay, good, that's bait, because my target is the Eldest Reborn in his hand. Except I tapped my mana wrong, so I don't get to... I should have paid attention. Let's see, does he have the mana? Okay, he has the mana. If he plays Eldest Reborn, I just sack the Branch Walker. That's bad. That's bad. So on the discard, I'm gonna discard the second freebooter. Then I'm gonna definitely cast Connive and Concoct on my turn. What do I buy? Probably the freebooter. No, you'll probably just counter it so that it becomes a moot point. Eldest Reborn. Guess you can have your disinformation campaign back. No, I have to cast Connive and Concoct because if he buys back Playcrafter, I'll be forced to sacrifice something. And I don't want to sacrifice Carnage Tyrant. Oh wait. I have a Trashing Brontodon already. So let's keep Iseret on top. Let's ditch the forest. Oh yeah, wait. I don't think I'm doing it at all. To discard the Vraska's Contempt, that's fine. He might have a Dream Eater, but that's still a few damage true. He got a little bit unlucky in his mana timing. I don't know if I'm going to get that back. So he's going to try to draw into a land. He drew into a land, he's got the counter. I don't think he can do both. Okay, he has no answer to Carnage Tyrant, so definitely his Unmoored Ego is coming back to counter, get rid of that. I still have to keep it in though. So let's leave it at that. I still keep my Unmoored Ego, I guess. I can probably take out another Vraska's Contempt return. Let's return the Jade Light Ranger, I suppose. Okay, let's go with that. That said, our opponent on the play, we won't be able to luck out with taking our opponent's stuff like last time. But our opponent did have a good number of I guess it depends on the mana he set up. The Field of Ruin there, if it was just a basic land, he would have had mana for something that would that would have easily ruined my day. As it is, even if we lose this entire match, well, it'll be bad because that means we'll be one match. We will only have one loss left. At least we managed to take a win. Managed to be in control, even without Muldrotha. The concept's generally sound. Muldrotha in one Panic card, they're more like there to really push it. They're not the keys to winning. They're just there to push it even further. That said, we have all our colors. We don't have a good start. Opponent mulligan. I'm gonna mulligan too. Okay, this is better. At least we can Glowspore Shaman into Playcrafter. And I'm definitely keeping that on top. We definitely need to hit our lands. I'm pretty sure our opponent probably sided in all the Syncopates back. Okay, so our opponent definitely has his mana up. Gonna cast Search? No Search. We do have our Carnage Tyrant, but we are vulnerable to a Tot Erasure. Oh well, can't be helped. Let's just go for it. Let's go Shaman. We will need to buy a land back, so we'll take the watery grave. Technically, we only need one blue source ever. I'll take the swamp. So next turn, Skittering Surveyor, probably another forest or another swamp. Unmoored Eagle. He's probably gonna name Carnage Tyrant because that's what offed him last time. Well, at least I get a new. Well, I'll get the land off the top of my library. I really want to. I think that's one way the interface can be improved. You really want to know what your opponents are naming. Definitely gonna lose Carnage Tyrant. Yep. So you get. Oh, it shuffles it, so you get Eldest Reborn back. Okay. So I don't get the land I need. I will get it next turn though. I definitely need the black source now. We're gonna go for Issaret. Maybe play Crafter after we swing. Oh yeah, if I were to unmoor Ego something here, it'll be his Eldest Reborns. He's definitely keeping that considering I have so many targets for him to choose from. Casting Search. Discovery. Okay, that's fair. I don't think that merits full control. Ah, I guess. Okay. Let me search. I'm gonna cast it as well. I'm kind of opening myself up to a Ritual of Soot, but if he has it, he has it. He didn't discard it. Let's see. Could be a Vraska's Contempt. That would be fine, I guess. Yep, there's the Vraska. I'm not buying that soon. I'm actually gonna just connive and concoct now. I do have a target. Yeah, I definitely don't want any of these. The Surreal was still kinda good. At least having one target means it's not too much. Now watch me mill the stuff I really want. Vraska, Izoni. Okay, we can get Izoni back. So definitely put the Hinterland Harbor on top. And he's ditching Iskarta. Still hasn't flipped it. Kind of hard to see. Okay, how many cards this? Okay, 4. I caught the blink of an eye. That was a Dream Eater, I suppose. I'm gonna swing first anyway. Dream Eater is 5 mana if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Dream Eater. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna force him to counter this. Okay. So that's one less card. Well, still 5 cards, so he needs to cast a spell and mill a card just to. Okay, he didn't mill a card, so he's gonna need to cast 2 spells. Play the land. He's at 6 mana. Probably gonna get blown out by an incoming incoming Dream Eater. I'm gonna go for it first. Because I can play craft. Because I can play crafter that thing at least. There's the Dream Eater. So can't yeah, I wish I still had the Vraska's Contempt. I decided those out. So he's gonna bounce one Glow Spore. He's gonna eat another Glow Spore. Go down to 3. I'll just replay. Yeah, I have the mana to cast Trashing Brontodon, mute the Surge before he gets that live. So he's gonna bounce that and recast the Glowspore Shaman. He could also just eat the Skittering Surveyor. I'm perfectly okay. There you go. So first, Trashing Brontodon. Let's get rid of his card advantage engine. We saw it already. Okay, ditch those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. No, I don't really need any of those. So he's now living off the top of his library. He needs to have multiple kill spells. I don't think blockers is gonna blockers are not gonna do it. He needs to actually kill my stuff. Disinformation campaign. Okay. Discard the Play Crafter. Another disinformation campaign. Nope. Mana and something. Good game. Hard to say what it is, but I'm gonna swing first just to be sure. Because if he has to kill spell, he'll spend it. I'd rather not get this card countered. Okay, he didn't have the kill spell, so... Woo! We managed to eke out the win. Well, granted, the second and third games, our opponent didn't have the God Hand, but still good enough. So we got our first win, which is a lot better than my... Okay, confession time. This is the second time I tried to make the video. First time, I ran into 2 versions of Golgari Midrange and got trounced badly. A lot of it's my fault. Basically, I was still learning that, oh yeah, everyone's playing Hydroid Krasis now. That explains why there's blue mana in their mana base. Yeah, it's really Sultai Midrange at this point. I think there's someone who posted the deck list on Facebook I can blame. Anyway, let's do another round. I'm guessing I might do this video in 2 parts. We are approaching the 45-minute mark. I might show those failures off. I'll probably just edit the video because I was kind of griping a bit. Very unprofessional. Speaking of gripes, cannot keep this hand. The black is very necessary. Why did I say I cannot keep this hand and it's hovering over this button? Okay, this is somewhat better. Would like some action on top, but a black mana source would be just fine too. I'm definitely keeping. Okay, I'm now priced into keep. So I'm gonna play this purple. Okay, this is gonna be super aggro. I would play Crawl Harpooners. Just because they're additional 2 drops. I might not necessarily snipe something. Okay, that stays in the library. So at least we got some quite aggressive action. So far this is looking to be a mono blue list. Curious Obsession. There you go, Curious Obsession. We can... He does know I have the Vraska, so he might have a counter... He might just be trying to draw cards until then. We have... Our only option is to just keep beating face until then though, so... Action Brontodon. We also have to note that he might have Spell Pierce, so we can't just cast this on turn 4. Let's see what he drops on the 3rd turn. If the answer is nothing, let's swing first. He might have a Merfolk Trickster that's... no, it still means he has Spell Pierce. Let's swing first. Okay. Then I'm gonna bait him with something else. Wait. He's gonna counter that. I'm certain. Essence capture. Okay, so he buffs it up. Resolve. Interesting thing is, I could just sack this one to get rid of the enchantment. Or should I just keep beating face? So far he's only presented one threat. I'm gonna expect the second one right about now. Curious Obsession number 2. Let's let that resolve. Don't think I can let him. So we're not exactly trading that much damage, but it's really curious why. Mystical Herald number 2. He can still be representing spell. Okay, he's not representing spell here. I'm gonna lose to this Vraska, but
go ahead. Beg for me. I haven't forgotten how to destroy things.
I'm gonna swing with this one. He could trade if he wants. Probably won't. He needs to off the Vraska first. So far, his instants and sorceries, he's only got one. So, he's not adapting anytime soon. But this is still very annoying as a creature. Commander number 2. So this is blue skies. It's virtually blue skies. He's letting me swing, so he might have a Merfolk Trickster. Okay. So I'm gonna swing first. Trickster. Okay, close port shaman. We need to force him to counter this. Okay. And decline. So he's gonna. He needs to leave at least one guy back, or be able to cast one guy. He's swinging for 3, so that. Sleep, I suppose? Oh no, he didn't have sleep. Okay. I'm gonna cast Eldest Reborn first. Let's force him to counter this. I think he has dive downs. That might be the thing. Actually, no. Dive down's kind of poor here. I would actually expect that. There you go. Wizard's Report. 3 mana. So I swing with both. Does he... Merfolk Trickster? Okay. Okay, he's going for the full trade. I'm happy with that. Even though I'm down to just Prime Speaker Vaniform. Probably means he does still have a creature of sorts. Siren Storm Tamer. Curious Obsession number... Oh, Tempest Gym. He's probably gonna just hold the Tempest Gin back, just keep swinging. Well, he could swing with this one once. Actually, he can afford to swing. Because especially if he has blockers, I have no way of buffing this up. Need a creature off the top of my deck. Yeah, he's going for the kill. One. Card the floors, draw cards. Sure. Okay, so this is mono blue aggro. What are the cards? So let's see. He has counter spells, so... Okay, let's... Actually, no. Z to undo. Let's tap the blue because I don't really need blue mana if I'm gonna... Okay, he might still have a counter for that. Wizard's Retorts. Okay, that's good game. So let's go to the next game. We know he has flyers, so we need to have our own flyers. Kite Self Rebooter comes in. Kraul Harpooner comes in. We know he's very aggressive. Ritual of Soot can come in too. And Nightfall Predators. So that's said. Salvager goes. And keep that one. We'll drop the Time Seeker Valifier. Drop the Jade Light Ranger. Play Crafter's okay. I think I can drop the Veraska's Contempt. No, drop 2 copies of the Contempt. Hostage Taker's okay. Foragers is okay. Drop 1 Eldest Reborn. Drop 1 Connive. Drop 3 copies of Branch Walker. Yeah, let's go with. I'm actually gonna drop 1 copy of his only put in the Carnage Tyrant. Let's go with that. Now, our opponent willing to trade means, yeah. Okay, so we have a good plan. Overgrown Tomb, Forest, Glowspore, Shaman. But we're not gonna get double blue for this one. We might get it off this, so we'll see. I should probably play that in this one because I have more double black. Yeah, I really need to consider the double blue might be a problem. So, blue mana? No. Okay, there's blue mana. We'll take that. At least it gives us Hostage Taker. Merfolk Trickster. Osiris Storm Tamer. Curious Exception. Okay, so we can Drown Cat. We'll offer the trade. He probably has the Curious Obsession here, so he's gonna drop that. Or not. So what does he have a tree now? This is getting curiouser and curiouser, I suppose. So let's play Forest. Let's swing first because I'm planning to cast Plague Crafter, get that countered. I would not be surprised if he cited about the Curious Obsessions. Plague Crafter, get it countered. There's the Essence Capture, so that's bigger. That's okay. So another blue source gets us access to Nightveil Predator. That's kind of our goal. If he just plays a Tempest Djinn, I'm gonna take advantage. Sure, I don't have the islands right now. Oh, he's just drawing cards. Okay. Does he have a land? That concerns me. Maybe ease off on playing. Oh, there's a creature I can play. I'll swing first. I need to be careful even with the lag here. I managed to double click through to end my turn at one time. That was very careless. So I'm gonna... Okay, he's not gonna capture that one. So take action, get an island. He's probably wondering why I need double blue at this point. He has his own Merfolk Trickster, we're gonna keep the defense here. Probably, let's see what he does in... Okay, Opt, he's drawing cards. If he doesn't leave up enough mana, I might just dare to take a hostage. Or just cast Nightveil Predator, get it over with. So let's start doing that. Okay, he's drawing into cards, but I don't know why. I also wouldn't try to draw into cards this early, unless he's... Okay, so held up enough for a creature. So what is that? I guess that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll play this one because he knows it. Can't play this one. Let's play this one. Okay, didn't have the counter. I'm gonna swing with the Grateful Shaman. Now I can just leave this back all day. I'm gonna encourage him to trade. Okay. He's got dive down, I suppose. He's got dive down. I'm going to go. Okay, take this gem. I could take that hostage, I suppose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could use one more mana. Let's take it hostage first. Let's force him to have the counter spell. Actually, either force him to have the counter spell, or the dive down, or sacrifice a Siren Storm Tamer. He had the dive down, so at least that's one out of the way. Okay, that's fine. Let's play Trashing. Let's play Trashing Brontodon. No attacks. He's kind okay, slightly flooded. If he swings with that, block. Because now I'm gonna swing with these guys. Let's force trades whenever possible. Here comes the second Tempest Gen. Down to 1 punch. I'd sell freebooter. Oh, swing first. Oh no, we're not swinging. No attacks. Okay, you don't have to counter. Cast this land. Okay, good. Cast this creature. No, let's decline because we can just cast that land. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start cycling up Plague Crafters and whatnot. Okay, he's gonna go for the big one. I'm gonna just cast Siren Storm Tamer first, just to make sure we have a blocker next turn. Siren Storm Tamer. Wait, I have Crawl Foragers. I can actually buy light. So let's see. Cast this land first. Enters tap. Right, so freebooter. This information. No counters. And probably land flooded. Oh. Okay, so he had an amazing already. Okay. That's kind of scary. That's this creature. Nightveil Predator. You could take this one back. So basically I'm just forcing trades where possible. Okay. Yeah, might as well. So one more hit will do it. End the turn. So he went for the Entrancing Melody, hoping to take my guys. Okay, he's got X equals 5. He'll probably take the freebooter. I could just... because he can't do anything about this guy. Yeah, good side tech. Next turn I'll probably just play the Crawl Foragers just... Pass. Okay, let's go to blockers. Okay, he doesn't have a way to beat the lag, so I'm gonna take the damage. And guess what? Hey, guess what I'm rebuying? He doesn't have the mana to take Muldrotha, so I still have one more shot. That's a melody, buying back Trashing Brontodon. Oh wait, it's targeting Kitesail Freebooter. Okay, that's perfect. We can have it. So let's cast this. Okay, let's cast an enchantment first. Off the freebooter. Yeah, because he knows he needs to. Access creature. Playcrafter. Sacrifice the Playcrafter because he needs to sacrifice something else. There you go. Got it. We found the sequence, but it's gonna be a tough one because we need to win one more game. Take a deep breath. I guess the Vraska's Contempt can come back after all. Let's drop one Crawl Foragers. I can test out the Erection Scriptures, but he's not exactly buying back cards. All I know is that he has a lot of stuff that he's trying to counter. Let's drop a Trashing Brontodon. Let's get a 7 carnage there. So we got turn 2 freebooter into turn 3 Playcrafter. We're definitely keeping this. Turn 1 Herald. So turn 2 Woodland Cemetery because we usually need double black. I was going for Siren Storm King. At least we know he doesn't have the creature counter, so at least I'll be taking hits from this. Hopped. So let's see. Aiming for a counter spell or dive down. Curious Obsession is fine too. Yeah, correct not to opt there because you might opt into something better. But that said, we know our opponent is stuck at 2 mana. So he might have drawn his 3rd land. We'll probably do a Playcrafter next turn, sack it to itself. We're gonna keep holding the freebooter down. Until he could tap it down next turn, so that's yeah. Definitely need to stop drawing lands at this point. Could even counter this one. That's might be a problem. If it's okay, well, that was kind of wishful thinking he didn't draw into it. So sack that. Okay. Technically, I'm gonna swing anyway because he can just cast this and just to tap it down. So I would have dealt 0 damage. Oh wait, that was wrong. He could make it use abilities. That was so wrong. I can hear the voices of the 20 or 30 so people that are watching this who are screaming right now. Lack of experience, and even with our opponent stuck on 2 lands, we're probably our opponent's gonna dig his way out of it definitely. Should not have swung. Should have kept holding back. I guess I have something to do.
Step aside or be crushed.
Might as well yeah. I'm gonna let the Vraska die. I get the Eldest Reborn next turn. Buys back freebooter at the least. No, I can buy back Vraska if he kills it. Surprised her. Expecting our opponent to have counters at this point. Well, technically dive down is a counter. Chart the course, so okay, we're free to we're free to Eldest Reborn. That's it. Yeah, we're definitely buying back Vraska. I suppose I could just buy back the freebooter just to get perfect information of our opponent's hand. I'm buying back Vraska. Ah, the lands, the lands. Well, I guess we will have enough lands if we... Oh, he ditched the Trickster. What gives? It's not like I was playing around him. I really have nothing to play here. Oh, he had another Merfolk Trickster. So, does he have Tempest Gym now? Yes, sir, it's Storm Tamer. For the Kite Silk freebooter to get perfect information. Let's see. Okay, so Essence Capture, Disdainful Stroke. I'm gonna take the Essence Capture. And just tap. Play Carnage Tyrant. No, our opponent's not gonna cast this. He will cast a Terramander, maybe sack 4. So, wait, he has the mana, does he have the mana to attack? Hold on. So we'll check. 1, 2. Okay, 2, so it's 6 to activate. Okay, it doesn't have. So we're racing at this point. Since all my spells are creatures and most of my spells are creatures anyway, well, this does nuke out my any future Eldest Reborns. Okay, can't block those. I'm not giving him Essence Capture back just yet. He can adapt this now. Just gonna cast Trashing. I'm gonna cast Trashing Brontodon. It goes under the radar. Still gonna take hits from the Mystical Carol, that's the bad news. But I have to swing now. Let's see. Oh no, he took the hit. I don't know if I'm... This is gonna be very tight. Because he just adapts, so it's all 5-5 that I must block. Because I'll be taking 1, 2, I'll be taking 4 damage. Of course I'm blocking. Actually, okay, so play the swamp. Swing with everyone. I think there's a mathematical way that he survives. Yeah. That's a good game because he can counter now. Well, that was very close at least, so 1 win, 1 loss, not too bad. We're at the 1 hour mark. So I'm gonna take a break on this vid. We're gonna take a break on this vid. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. We'll continue this video. We'll have a continuation of this video, so there'll be a video after this. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys again next time.